Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another upload. All right, it's been a while. It's been like 5 or 6 weeks at this point, I think. I don't know. I'm not checking the last time I uploaded the video, but anyways, my last video, the build with the 0 second cooldown Omega Lance, yeah, that got nerfed because Voxel nerfed emotions and he nerfed caster. So in order to change the build and make it work again, I had to basically just turn my build into cooldown reduction slop. It's warped emotions, quick Riptide shirt. You only need quick. This is quick piercing, but I only have quick on here. You only need quick. I mean, it's a launcher with warped caster ring, warped mageling. The infusions are emotions, mageling. So basically, this build is now just cram as much cooldown reduction as you can, and then one Riptide for heals. So that's basically all the build is now. Um, it functions the same as before, but it's just a little bit slower because I don't have enough attack speed. Because if you have quick, it gives you attack speed. More attack speed is faster weapon art casting, and that lets you move faster. It's pretty self-explanatory. The reason I'm wearing the Riptide directly is because it gives me more water boost and more dex boost, and that number one contributes to DPS because this does have dex scaling, and number two, it gives me more heals because the heal scales off dex boost and water boost. And weapon parts are Gale Dagger, Omega Lance Handle. I'm in the Scholar Guild at tier 3, and I am a high elf race, so there's a bunch of cooldown reduction all in one build. And yeah, this build is really fast, right? It's not as fast as it used to be, but it's still decently fast. Has decent sustain. I heal 2.9 every casting, regardless if I hit something or not. And then for DPS will depend. Against small targets, I'll put a clip up on the screen, but against small targets, DPS is around like 500 or so DPS, I think. And then against bigger targets, it can go up to like 1.1 to 1.2k DPS. Yeah, this build has pretty decent DPS. It's got pretty good travel speed. It's got actually pretty good vertical mobility as well. You have launch rune, and it's on like a 4 second cooldown, so pretty good vertical mobility. And then it has sustain. This build is, in my opinion, super versatile. And in my opinion, I'll say opinion again, but in my opinion, I like this build a lot for running TNT in Tundra. This is my favorite build to run TNT in Tundra with because it's just exceedingly fast. It has good vertical mobility for dealing with the ladders and the stairs. And when you're in the air flying around, you don't have to deal with stalkers because when you're on the ground and a stalker shoots you, if the stalker misses you by a little bit, you can still get caught in the AOE of the stalker beam because that's how Voxel decides to make these things work. But when you're in the air, number one, when you're moving that fast in the air, there's already a lower chance you'll get hit because the stalker will just it's not like a major league; it can miss, right? And if it misses you, it'll just shoot up and hit the ceiling, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. That's why I love this build. Now, some I've seen some other builds for running TNT. The most popular build I've seen for running TNT is 11.7 Floral Duelist with a Slizzard Rune or Wolf Mount or something like that. I don't like that kind of build. I don't like that build for a number of reasons. Reason number one, oh, what's up, man? How you is? Good talk. Anyways, I don't like that build because number one, it doesn't actually save that much more time. Like I'll put some clips up in the background as I do my rant on Floral Duelist and the like, but I don't like that build because for like 95% of the dungeons I've been doing over the last 4 or 5 maybe 6 weeks, I don't know, but for like the last dungeons I've been doing, in every single case, or like 95% of all cases, I carry TNT and I get to the boss door before my team has finished killing the current boss. So I'll plant TNT for Batty, I'll run back to pick up TNT and fly off to Mungus. I'll get to Mungus and Batty is still not dead. Okay, and I'm already going like at a pretty decent speed. If you go faster than me, you don't actually save any time because you'll get to the boss and you still gotta wait there anyway. So you end up saving like net 0 time. And the instances where the boss does die before I get to the door, like I'm like 3 seconds away. Like you're saving 3 seconds. That doesn't really like actually help that much. Like the only real time save you have compared to me is when you're running from the start of the dungeon to the pop dialogue at the elevator. That's the only like actual time save you could have. And even then, I'm only like 5 or like 10 seconds slower than you. You know what I'm saying? And like another thing I have is that those builds usually lack vertical mobility. And so, you know, like for running to bat, they have to like take up the stairs, or they have to take like some like random weird wonky paths. I can just pop launch rune, and I'm going, and I've already like cleared like the whole flight of stairs, or like the ladder, right? I use it again, and I can start flying off to go plant TNT. Like I have more vertical mobility, so I can move vertical distance greater, which matters a lot, and especially for bat, but also for Mungus, because Mungus has some weird like ridges or something like that on it. I don't know, but when I see people run TNT, either on like a rune, they'll be running, it'll take like a weird curved path or something like that. But I just go in just like a straight line to the gateway because I have good vertical mobility. I can just fly there. It doesn't that ridge can go piss off because it doesn't actually affect me, right? And then I don't know. I think my bias against these floral duelist builds is just because of my bad experiences with one in particular. I mean, I've had some bad experiences with them in general, but one in particular because I was in a dungeon, right, and then I'm offering to run TNT, and then some guy's going like, let me run TNT. I have the build for it. The guy's running like 11.7 Floral Duelist, and he has the Bastion like relic dagger, like the dagger that like buffs the potency of buff. So he gets like 3.24 Tailwind. Incredible, right? You know, the gateway opens off. We run to the dialogue. He gets there like 10 seconds before me, very fast. So while he's stuck in a cutscene, I'm grabbing the TNT, flying off, running to Mungus. And then I mean Mungus, sorry, Bat. I grab the TNT, fly off the Bat. I plant the TNT for Bat, and you know I join the fight to fight Bat because you know this guy's got Mungus apparently. Anyways, Bat he dies, and this guy gets his TNT blown up by a Stalker because he's on the ground. His build is ground based, so Stalker hit him like I guess multiple times, blew up his TNT. So now I have to run TNT for Mungus as well, and like you know this dude is like the reason I have to run because since he's like on the ground and he's like waiting in the Mungus room, he can't leave because number one, his build with 11.7 Floral Duelist has no sustain, and number two, he doesn't do any DPS. Number two, he doesn't do any DPS either because of his build. He can't do DPS. He has no heals, and all he can do is run. And now he can't do that because there's a stalker guarding the door. So I have to run TNT for him as well. I run TNT for Mungus. I place TNT, and then I go fight the boss. You know, by this point, I've placed 2 of the 3 TNTs for the guy who said he would place TNT for me. Whatever. So, Mungus dies. He places TNT for Spider. We fight Spider. And then, what's it called? He places cores. Now, this lobby didn't have a healer. So, we have like 4 people left for last stand. And the mobs also got Cursed Bark. Now, this build has very few weaknesses, but one of the biggest weaknesses that this build has is Cursed Bark. Because if I get Cursed Bark, my emotions gets fucked up, and then I have like a 2-second cooldown now. But yeah, anyways, I'm fighting off these mobs, even with Cursed Bark, and you know, I'm like fighting them off, right? I'm like fighting like 7 Iron Slayers, you know, a whole family of spiders, a lineage of glacial snappers and winter wolves and gremlin lancers. Like there's literally like a massive crowd of mobs. I'm just like flying back and forth, trying to kill them, getting debuffed in the process, you know, trying to do my thing. I turn my shoulder to look, and this dude is just sitting there watching. Why is he watching? Because he doesn't have sustain, and because he doesn't do any DPS. Because his build is made for one thing, and that's to run TNT. And he can't even. His build doesn't even do that well. His build is just like it's just like he was just so useless that whole lobby. He couldn't fight the mobs that fast. He couldn't heal himself. I just hate that kind of build. Now, some of you might also be mentioning this other build this other YouTuber made called like the Ultimate Runner build. In my opinion, this build is just like basically just like mine. Like, let's be honest here, like we basically function the exact same way. I don't have a problem with his build. His build, it's fast. It has more control than my build because my lunge goes pretty far and in a straight line, and he can like his is shorter. It's still fast, but his is shorter, and he can like control where it goes. Because I basically just have to teleport forward, so he can like actually move and he can navigate curves better than I can. And his build has good sustain. His build has better vertical mobility than mine, actually, because he has more jump boost from having more whirlwind, and he has a lower cooldown on his room, so he actually has better mobility than me vertically, and good sustain. I think he actually uses Stone Cleric with his build, so I think he has stun resist too, which is cool. I mean, I can still get hit by a stalker. I'll be stunned for like a second or so, then I can kill the stalker or like fly by it afterwards. But he has stun resist, so I think that's really cool. His build can do support as well, so overall, I think he has a really cool build. I don't have a problem with that build. His build is basically just mine, but different. I think my build is more optimized for DPS and AoE crowd clears, and his build is just for support, and yeah, it's a good build. I don't have a problem with his build, but I just have a problem with these floral duelist goofballs who act like their build is just completely on another level, and it's really not, and like they're just completely. They're like my Crimson Rogue build, but like not ironic. It's just so annoying. Like I'm sure you could switch on some kind of armor set and then do actual DPS or AOE with Floral Duelist, but I don't really care because at the end of the day, I don't think anything is gonna match that much AOE. Like I can cover like half of the Last Stand arena with this. It's just you could put on Dreadlift, whatever. It's just not gonna match that. And even if it does, like it's just not gonna do it as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't like those builds. But yeah, that's this build. So thank you for my TED talk on why I hate Floral Duelist builds. Have a nice one. And they're all gone. Incredible. Oh, where do you think they're going? No, you don't get a chance to do. All great questions. I'm gonna make a video on this build soon. GG's. Add us since the end. Got it.